Hello everyone, and welcome back to Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. Previously, we completed the Mason section, or Mason System section, and we got the full truth from both Zach Gramarye and Valent Gramarye. And boy, what a twisted tale that is. And I was quite surprised when Valent said that he may have thought about killing Magnify, but he couldn't. And it was when he was walking away that he heard the gunshot, and Magnify had taken his own life. But even still, Valent did doctor the crime scene. Well, not really a crime scene then, but he doctored the scene so that it would look like Zach would take the fall, so Valent could get the rights, but because of that little envelope written by Zach proclaiming that Trucy would be the one to inherit all the tricks of the trade from Magnify, Valent kind of just gave up, and he kind of insinuated that he's going to go turn himself in. So that leaves one last person to take down, Christoph Gavin, who is the real perpetrator behind killing Drew Misham. So, without further ado, let's get into this. Welcome to court. 7 years, all leading to one verdict. A verdict which you must decide. Is the defendant, Vera Misham, innocent or guilty? The courtroom doors are opening. The trial awaits. Are you ready to begin? Hell yeah! Courtroom number 3. Preparations complete. So, of course Vera's not guilty. She suspected the post was maybe poisoned? But she didn't force Drew to lick that stamp. Something important, lost long ago. It's close now. So close. October 9th, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom number 3. Wait, 10 a.m., is this the following day from when Vera fainted? Court is now in session for the trial of Vera Misham. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution's ready to rock. Prosecutor Gavin, how is the defendant, Vera Misham's condition? Acute atroquinine poisoning. According to her physician, she could die at any time. Thus, her absence from the courtroom today. What? I can't put her on trial without her being here. It is unusual. They should wait for her to get better and do it then. It's so bureaucratic of them. That's being a little harsh. They can't delay the trial any longer. They risk having no one left to try. A trial without a verdict can only cause grief. The records of this case and experience tell us this. Apologies to the defendant, but the show must go on. Right. If Vera dies, the trial will be cancelled. I'm not going to let that happen. Mr. Wright told me everything that's been going on behind the curtain all these years. Okay. So Apollo knows everything that we just witnessed in the Mason system. I'm going to get Vera her innocent verdict while there's still time. Very well. Your opening statement, Prosecutor Gavin. The prosecution's case is unchanged by recent events. Why did Vera Misham succumb to poison? Because she couldn't live with the guilt of what she'd done. But Vera was poisoned with atroquinine, the exact same poison that took her father's life. What better confession could you ask for? Being the killer, she would have had access to the poison. Yeah, I saw that coming. significant since it's rather hard to come by. That is true. In other words, I see no need for further discussion. We could have had our verdict yesterday. Well, Mr. Justice, if you have no objections, I see no reason to postpone a verdict. What we need to worry about isn't the verdict, but the trial itself. The defense holds that Vera Misham is the victim, not the killer. If that's so, then you have to prove something. She was in court giving her testimony before us. How do you propose her killer poisoned her? With the nail polish. Oh, and incidentally, it would be nice if you told us who her mystery killer was. The prosecution's objection is sustained. I ask the defense to prove its claims to the court. Tell us how Vera Misham was poisoned. I've got two things to prove here. Who did it and how? Which to hit first? Okay, well, who would be a huge major bombshell? Like, if I just blurted out it was Kristoff, there would be chaos and panic. It would be ridiculous. But I have a concrete link, I think. Let's show how. How did the killer poison Vera Misham? I will focus first on the method used. Any comments before we begin, Prosecutor Gavin? Not a bottle or container of poison was found on the defendant's body. I see. So the vector of poisoning is unknown. Is the defense prepared to prove how the poison reached Vera Misham? Yes, Your Honor. Very well. What method was used to poison Vera Misham? Oh my god. Looks like a... Okay, this is all the evidence we had, but... we do have the yellow letter from Misham. Wait, how does Apollo have this? Didn't Phoenix leave that behind? Kristoff called him out and he had to leave the letter? Anyway, it's the nail polish. What's this? My, what a beautiful bottle. I'd like to give whoever designed that a hand. Boo! Get better material! Is that nail polish? It's colorless. Something the matter? No, nothing. Nothing at all. He recognized it as being the same kind that Kristoff has. Ooh. So the killer put poison in this bottle and made her drink it. As Prosecutor Gavin has told us, this is nail polish. Nail polish? It's like paint for nails. Know any woman with red nails? Oh, my wife has red nails. I see, so she's been painting them all this time. I love this man. Let's recall yesterday's trial. Remember when Vera was testifying to the court? Court is now back in session. Vera seems pretty tense. She's practically chewing her fingernails clean off. Whenever Vera became nervous, she had a habit of biting her nails. Her nails? Oh. Prosecutor Gavin, when the prosecution had Vera examined, did they check her nails? Bailiff, have them check the defendant's nails at once. Mr. Justice. Yes? Do you know who did this? Do you know who put poison in that nail polish? Yes. That bottle belongs to Vera Misham? Why do you ask? Know someone else who might have a bottle like this? No, just checking. Mr. Justice, you are about to accuse someone of poisoning that bottle of nail polish. Please dispense with the chatter. You realize the weight of this accusation. Here, let me show you. Understood, Your Honor. No problem. I know what I'm doing this time. Then let us ask, who poisoned Vera Misham via her nail polish? It would be none other than Christoph Gavin. What's this? Christoph Gavin?
Objection!
What's your game? My bro, there's no way he could do a thing like that. You should know that better than anyone else. Indeed. He is behind bars. I know. However, that doesn't mean it was impossible to do what he did. What? Ask yourselves when he put the poison in the bottle. It could have been yesterday. It could have been a month ago. Maybe it was a year ago. Or perhaps it was 7 years ago. But Christoph Gavin had no motive for killing this poor girl. It's simply inconceivable. Sure he did. Prosecutor Gavin doesn't seem to think so. That face tells me one thing. Christoph Gavin's own younger brother doesn't find it inconceivable at all. Well, Prosecutor Gavin, if you feel there is a clear and pressing need, then we may have to summon Christoph Gavin from jail as a special witness. Fine. I've known for some time that an impenetrable darkness lurked at the bottom of this. A darkness that has swallowed even myself. Okay. The defense's wish is granted. Let prisoner Christoph Gavin take the stand. That's really cool of him. Bailiff, begin proceedings to call a special witness. The witness is Christoph Gavin, currently residing in solitary cell 13 at Central Prison. Oh, baby. Your Honor, how nice to see you again. It's been quite a while, hasn't it? To what do I owe the pleasure of your company? It's not every day I'm summoned from my solitary cell. In fact, it's never. I think you already know, Mr. Christoph Gavin. Ah, Mr. Justice. I hear you've been doing quite well for yourself. Ack! Why do I feel like somehow he's still my boss? Stiff upper lip, Apollo. You can do it. Does this bottle look familiar? Ariadone nail polish. Why, yes, I use it myself. As did the late defendant, I hear. She's not dead yet. And was there something concerning this bottle you wish to ask me about? I admit I respect her for her taste in nail polish. Her taste, indeed. This nail polish was how Vera Misham was poisoned. Atroquinine, was it? You're well informed about this case, Mr. Gavin. Even in solitary, much comes to my desk, and I have nothing to do but read. Well, Clavier? Maybe you can explain this. You're being accused again, by him, again. Ah, and You agree with his accusation, do you? Let's hold a proper trial, shall we? Christoph Gavin, your testimony, please. I'd be delighted. The charges against you are quite severe, Mr. Gavin. You are suspected of the poisoning of the defendant, Vera Misham. Please testify on this matter to the court. Oh, this is going to be good. Oh man, it's really come full circle, hasn't it? Owning the same nail polish does not a murderer make. I have been in solitary confinement for half a year. How could I poison her? Her father died of the same poison, the meaning of which should be clear. The prosecution's case holds she poisoned her father, then attempted to poison herself. Surely you aren't going to suggest I was responsible for poisoning her father too? You absolutely were. The stamp for Drew, the nail polish for Vera. Well, I'm afraid the defense's claim is sounding rather unlikely. Naturally. For one, I don't even know the Mishams. Isn't that so, Mr. Justice? Very well. Mr. Justice, begin your cross-examination. I'm accusing Christoph Gavin, my ex-boss. But I know he poisoned the Mishams. The question is, when could he have done it? Not to mention, why? To cover his tracks, I believe he's the one who ordered Vera to make that fake evidence that ended up getting Phoenix Wright disbarred. Owning the same nail polish does not a murderer make. Tell me, is this nail polish expensive? Ariadone is a nail polish of the highest order. Not only is it fabulously expensive, but it is made in extremely limited quantities. And you and Vera just happen to both use it. That can't be a coincidence. I'm guessing it's not a coincidence. Huh? It's simple. Ariadone is the best nail polish one can buy, correct? Then if one wanted the best nail polish, one would buy it. That makes sense. Why, it's a bit like my feelings towards my brand name gavel here. Oh, the lore. And my silk top hat. Are we all done showing off our refined tastes? Please continue with your tasteful testimony. Oh! I just noticed the bracelet's active, okay. Well, just in case, let's press everything first. I have been in solitary confinement for half a year. How could I poison her? Can't you still make contact with the outside world in solitary? So he had an accomplice on the outside. Is this your latest accusation? I am allowed a certain modicum of letter writing. But the contents of those letters are closely checked. It would be extremely difficult to send a hit request. Prosecutor Gavin's on the warpath, isn't he? Yeah, you think so too, Trucy? I bet I know why. He must be nervous with Big Brother watching. Huh. And maybe that's a weakness I can turn to my advantage. Are we cool with that? May I continue? Her father died of the same poison, the meaning of which should be clear. The defendant is not dead yet. There are no known cases of someone surviving a trochonin poisoning. You seem to know a lot about a trochonin. I know a lot about a lot of things, which is why I suggest we pick up the pace. Or else you'll be short one defendant for what she's worth. The witness will refrain from speaking ill of the ill. My apologies. Shall I continue? The prosecution's case holds she poisoned her father, then attempted to poison herself. Vera had no reason to want to commit suicide. And also, who would commit suicide by doing their nails? Objection! The answer is quite simple. Basically, allow me to explain. Beginning with, why did she do it? The answer is quite simple. She couldn't live with her own guilt. Next, why did she use nail polish to poison herself? This, too, is simple. So she could die doing something that she liked. Something that she liked? Once she saw that the trial wasn't going her way, she knew she would die. And it's not easy to bring poison into a courtroom. Must I explain further? I believe that's clear enough. Crystal clear. Wow, the two brothers together is like a two-man wrecking team. They could use a little more teamwork, though. Surely you aren't going to suggest I was responsible for poisoning her father, too? Both Vera and Mr. Misham were poisoned with atroquinine. That really can't be a coincidence. The defense is repeating fallacious statements based on conjecture. The prosecution requests concrete, unambiguous proof of the witness's crime. Objection sustained. Sustained. The defense will please present concrete proof. Does Prosecutor Gavin seem strange to you too? It's like he's all grown up. I think that's how prosecutors are supposed to be, actually. Though he is acting different than usual. I'll bet it has a lot to do with his brother Christoph being in the room. Well, let's make this testimony count, Apollo. Right, quick and painless. My bracelet should do the trick. Okay, I'm questioning my ex-boss. His testimony seems watertight, but he's lying. I'm sure I'll be able to see something, as long as I focus. I think it's the last one. If I'm looking for a tell on this man, touching his glasses like this is a surefire tell. So hey, if Apollo knows everything, does this mean that he knows his parentage? I have to wonder about that, but Phoenix did say that he would tell Apollo when the time is right, so maybe not. Ooh, look at those eyes. You aren't going to suggest... What? Is that a scar on his hand? Oh! Did you see that? His muscles twitched when he said, "Her father too." Oh man, that focused glare behind his glasses. Oh, that's such a neat touch. Okay, hold on. Why does he have a scar on the back of his wrist? What the hell? When could that have been a thing? What? There. Gotcha! It was you who killed Drew Misham. A bluff worthy of your new mentor, Mr. Wright. Oh, really? But you see, I saw it. Right when you said, her father too, your hand tensed unnaturally, and a little devil appeared to give me the news. And let's assume, for the sake of argument, that you saw me being tense. What does that mean? Are all tense witnesses guilty? And tell me, was Drew Misham fond of nail polish too? Sorry, but there's more than one way to poison a man. You don't need nail polish to get someone's mouth. Ah, then I must be very talented indeed. You see, Drew Misham was killed on October 6th, while I was already in my solitary confinement cell at Central Prison. If that's not an alibi, then I don't know what is. But you found a way, all the same. And I found it too. This is how you poisoned Mr. Misham. I mean, this should be really obvious to the entire court. The stamp. I'm sure this commemorative stamp requires no introduction. The night Mr. Misham died, he was seen writing a letter. A troquinine was found on this stamp, Mr. Gavin. So, am I to understand this stamp was the murder weapon? Yes, you are. Oh, and yes, this stamp was found in your prison cell. Well, well. Oh. That is all, Your Honor. Order, order, order! Poison on the back of that stamp? After Drew Misham was killed, someone paid a visit to this witness's cell. Phoenix Wright. Daddy? That's when he found the stamp. You made Drew Misham write you a letter. That's how you killed him. What? My. You've upset my poor brother to the point of uselessness. Allow me to clarify this matter, Justice. All you need to do is recall witness Sparkbrushell's testimony. Well, that's a thing, see? After he put his letter in that envelope, Mr. Misham sat there searching his desk drawer for something. His desk drawer? Yes, a stamp, a so-called postage stamp, end quote. He was looking for a stamp. Ergo, he had no intention of using this stamp. What? Yeah, to start, but then he couldn't find a stamp, so he just used that one. What are you talking about? What are you getting at? What I'm arriving at is that this commemorative stamp was in a frame. How do you know this? It was mere coincidence that he used it that night. That would seem to be the case. Or perhaps you mean to suggest that I can somehow manipulate coincidence? He does have a point. How would this witness know if the victim was going to use that stamp? Oh my god, this is trivial. Like, okay, I guess this would be a challenge for someone who completely forgot everything, like, that took place before the Mason system section, but seriously, guys? Seriously? Without that, he couldn't have planned the murder. What? Really, Clavier? You should be seeing through those weak-spined bluffs by now. Weak bluffs indeed. I think Clavier already figured it out. He's put two and two together. He knows. He's right, though. How could anyone have known Mr. Misham would use that stamp that night? It doesn't matter that it happened that night. It just has to have happened. Least of all, Christoph Gavin locked away in his cell. Well, it seems that the defense has run out of things to say. You assume he had something to say in the first place. I believe the defense's bluff has been called. The defense's bluff? I'm not sure I agree with you there, Christoph. Clavier? Honestly, I wanted to believe you. Well, the defense wasn't trying to get away with a bluff. You were, Christoph. What did I say? Clavier figured it out. What are you saying, Prosecutor Gavin? Air Forehead, what was your accusation again? Oh, it was that this poison stamp killed Drew Misham, yeah? To which my brother responded thusly. There was no way to know when Misham would use the stamp. Yes, that's right, which is why it couldn't have been planned. Tell me, it needs to be planned. Why? Why couldn't it have been a coincidence? The defense's case is simply that Drew Misham died by that stamp. That's all. Coincidence? Christoph, you tried to slip out from under his accusation by changing the subject. If that's not bluffing, what is it? What are you up to, Clavier? I could ask you the same question, Christoph. I silence the defense with the fewest words possible. It's called efficiency. But Mr. Gavin, that's impermissible testimony. Very well. I shall take his claim head on then. Justice. Well, what? You accuse me of Drew Misham's murder, yes? Then allow me to ask you, what possible reason could I have to kill a painter? Apollo, motive. He's talking about a motive. Indeed. It's hard to see how an attorney could come to want to kill a painter. Now here's something. Why didn't he bring up the motive from the very beginning? Unless he was afraid it was a battle he might lose. So, what does it mean? It means there might be a weak spot. Maybe I have some evidence to prove a motive. Yes, I do. A motive for murder. This is a vital, if not the most vital element in this case. Please consider this when making your statement. I'd say it's about this vital. That's pretty vital. Well, Mr. Justice, I'm going through with this no matter what. Understood, Your Honor. I'd like to present evidence. Then let's see what you have for us. What reason did Christoph Gavin have for wanting to murder Drew Misham? The question of the hour. So I think it's because it was to cover his tracks. I believe that Christoph forged that evidence, the fake journal page, and by killing the people who did it, all ties to that case would be severed and Christoph would be fully in the clear. So let me read this red envelope. I want to read it. Mr. Drew Misham, I've deposited the $100,000 in the designated account. Please send a receipt once you've confirmed the transfer. sign the papers, and send in the enclosed envelope with the enclosed stamp within 3 days. I need not remind you to speak of this to no one. I don't think I show this. So how about the fake journal page? Forged to look like a page of Magnifie's diary. It seems fate's clock will make me wait a little longer, at least only less than 10 swift minutes remain. To all those who have supported me in my life's work, I give thanks farewell. Okay, there's nothing in the words. It's more about what this is. I think that the red letter is most concrete proof. Yeah, after all, the red envelope, it asks to send a letter with enclosed envelope and stamp. And this is that letter and stamp found in Kristoff's cell. Oh my god, is this it? Did we just show the red letter and then the yellow letter for a 1-2 punch KO? Is that really all it's gonna take? I think that could be it. Kristoff Gavin's motive becomes clear when we consider why the stamp came to Drew Misham's studio in the first place. And why was that? Forgery, Your Honor. Go back 7 years. Drew Misham accepts his first job creating forged evidence. I've seen that before. A page from a diary, wasn't it? Magnifie Grammary's diary. When attorney Phoenix Wright lost his badge, yes. This was the evidence he presented to his loss. This evidence is a fake, yes. But did Mr. Wright request the forgery be made? That was never proven. The defense attorney on that case was Phoenix Wright, who, other than him, drunk with the prospect of victory, could have done it. And why would they? Just out of curiosity, do you remember this letter? This is the first page. And this is the second. Those were presented in court yesterday. This letter was sent to Drew Misham by the client who requested that forgery. The enclosed stamp was none other than the poison commemorative stamp. Drew Misham drew his last breath just the other day. However, the motive for his murder was already 7 years old. 7 years old? The client who requested this forgery was very cautious. He tried to erase anything and anyone with connections to the forgery, to keep them from talking. But he made a mistake. The stamp was a picture of my favorite magicians, so I kept it. Father took me when I was very young. It was a great magic show. I loved it so much. The killer's time bomb was delayed. The poison stamp was sealed within a glass frame, where it sat for 7 whole years. Air Forehead, do you understand what you're telling us? The one who schemed up the forged diary page was the one who poisoned the stamp. And it was Phoenix Wright who presented the forged evidence 7 years ago. Adding the two statements together, the one who schemed to kill Drew Misham was none other than Phoenix Wright. Oh, I see how that looks, but hold on. Sorry, but that's not how this is going to go down. Oh? Then how will it go down? I checked through the records on that case when I found this. 7 years ago, just before the trial began. Oh, old boy. Here. What's this? I don't know. I just got it over there in the hall. They told me to give it to the old boy in the blue suit with the spiky hair. And one more thing. I'm sorry to have sprung this on you so suddenly. I received the files from your previous attorney only yesterday. I understand if I'm asking the impossible of you. Yes, well, you haven't really told me what happened yet. All we did was play cards. And that was enough. Phoenix Wright was put on the case the day before the trial started. He didn't have time to request a forgery. The day before. Now here's a question. Just who was Shady Indigmar's previous defense attorney? No, this can't all be. But it is all true. There was another man, a defense attorney, with a badge on his collar. It was you, Christoph Gavin. Order. What is the meaning of this, witness? I mean, defendant or former lawyer? Let me begin by denying this. Objection! It's easy enough to look up, Mr. Gavin. And impossible to prove if you can't. Attorneys are registered with the court the day before the trial begins. In other words, no record remains in the court. How exactly did you intend to prove Phoenix Wright's claim? That would be difficult. I'm afraid this line of inquiry won't yield. Objection! Air Forehead, are you sure you don't have evidence? What's wrong with Prosecutor Gavin? He looks clammy. Evidence. Evidence that shows this man, Christoph Gavin, requested that forgery 7 years ago. Clavier? Just prove it. Clear up these doubts now, or I swear I'm off this case. He must have thought of some evidence, Apollo. Prosecutor Gavin looks like he's in physical pain. That darkness. I have to pull that darkness out of him, and proof is the only way I can. What proves Christoph Gavin's link to Drew Misham? The yellow letter in the cell. Well, Mr. Justice, you claim Christoph Gavin requested a forgery of Drew Misham 7 years ago. Prove it. It can be proven. Simply ridiculous. Why even discuss it? This evidence does not... Objection! Are you telling the truth, Apollo Justice? I am. Then, I say we give him the benefit of the doubt. Very well. But if you're wrong about this, be prepared for a penalty. Your Honor, you do the defense in injustice. Mr. Justice is clearly passionate about his claim. Should the penalty not match his passion? I haven't given a penalty like that in a long time. Well, Mr. Justice. Fine, Your Honor. All I have to prove is any kind of link. Something that ties Christoph Gavin to Drew Misham. And I have something that clearly does the job. Very well, Mr. Justice. Present your evidence. Guys, is this the finale? This feels like the finale. Show us the link between our witness and Drew Misham. Letter from Misham. Retrieved from solitary cell 13. It really can't get more clear than this. This evidence proves there's a link.
Objection!
That scrap of paper? I'm afraid I can't let you submit that. Is there some problem? There is. How could you possibly have that? You couldn't. Is this a game getting meta, saying that no, knowing about the stamp is meta knowledge? Huh? Hey, that's Daddy's handwriting. Wait, what? Mr. Wright's handwriting? What is the meaning of this? Wait, did Phoenix create a duplicate of the letter? Wait, what? Oh my god. Phoenix, why? What's going on, man? I see now. Yes, of course. What do you mean, of course? I just remembered I had a visitor yesterday. Phoenix Wright came to my cell. Except I wasn't there. Phoenix Wright? When I returned, I saw he had something of mine in his possession. Of course, I had no intention of letting him get away with reading my private mail. Mail? You mean this letter was in your cell? No. However, it appears Mr. Wright has yet to be cured of his bad forging habit. Well, if it's a forgery, it's not a very good one. The handwriting's terrible. This is Mr. Wright's reproduction of what was written in the real letter. Reproduction? When Mr. Wright visited Christoph Gavin's cell, he brought with him a small video camera. What? Oh man, look at that face. I don't think he's made that face before. Oh wow. He recorded his entire conversation with you, Mr. Gavin. I hope Japanifornia is a one-party consent state for recording. And the contents of your personal mail. Regardless, this mockery of a piece of evidence will never be accepted by the court. Evidence based on a video a man with no authority whatsoever claims he took. A man who happens to be an ex-attorney suspected of forgery. Prosecutor Gavin. Prosecutor Gavin? As embarrassing as this is for me to say, I'm afraid my brother is incapable of making rational judgments at the moment. Your Honor, your decision, please. The defense's claim is denied. What? Only actual evidence is permitted in a court of law. Please remove the defense's evidence from the record. Better luck next time, Justice. What happened? What? Well, we've certainly taken a detour from our cross-examination. But the defense appears to be lacking proof. I am forced to end the cross-examination of Christoph Gavin at this point. Apollo, do something. I'm thinking, but without evidence, I don't have anything I can use on him. Very well. This ends the special witness's cross-examination.
Objection!
The show's over, yet the crowd screams for more. Only now do I understand why. Prosecutor Gavin? Frankly, I'm relieved. This has been bothering me for 7 whole years. And I'm tired of the whole youthful angst scene. Now's our chance. Let's clean out the family closet, eh, Christoph? Clavier, you're spinning out of control. Calm yourself before you say something you'll regret. Spinning out of whose control? Mine or yours? Take a moment to consider everything you've built. Your reputation as a prosecutor, your fame with the masses. You could lose it all, Clavier. Apollo, did you see that? He's trying to press Prosecutor Gavin. Prosecutor Gavin, try to remember what's really important to you. You amuse me, Air Forehead. I couldn't forget what's really important to me, even if I tried. In fact, I haven't. Not even once. 7 years ago. Finally. You just couldn't resist, could you, Air Right? Resist what? Presenting solid evidence? Might I request we put the current cross-examination on hold? The prosecution would like to call a new witness. Yeah. Clavier had Drew ready to go. This was planned. State your name and occupation for the record. I'm familiar with the trial. I've watched the videos several times. Didn't you find anything unnatural about that? Unnatural? Well, you did seem unusually well prepared. I mean, Mr. Wright had only just presented his evidence. And the next moment you call in Drew Misham. It was almost as if... What? Funny. It didn't even occur to me to wonder. But now that I do, I see there's only one possible explanation. Almost as if, from the very beginning, you knew Mr. Wright was going to present that evidence. Oh. Correct. I knew that if I applied the usual pressure, Phoenix Wright would eventually come up with that forged diary page. Don't do this, Clavier. I knew because you told me, Christoph. What? It was the night before the trial. Clavier. Christoph? Odd seeing you at the prosecutor's office the day before the trial. I won't be appearing in the trial, actually. Huh? Why not? I won't be facing off with you on your first trial, apparently. But in exchange, I brought information. Information? The attorney who will be there in my place tomorrow is not to be trusted. Don't even give him the benefit of your respect. Listen, I want you to call in a special witness. Then, I wondered about it at the time. How did Christoph know so much? Prosecutor Gavin. Christoph, we were supposed to face each other in that trial. A fair fight, brother to brother. I deserve that much. You let me borrow the victim's belongings. You showed me all your research on the case. The victim's belongings? Which would have included Magnifie's diary, wouldn't it? Mr. Gavin? My, Clavier. You disappoint me. You find trees, yet miss the forest. You're the one missing the forest, Mr. Gavin. You can't sweep this under the rug. Not anymore. Tell me, what was going on behind that trial? Why not? I've achieved what I came here to do. I see no harm in a little reminiscing. Apollo? I think we're finally going to shine a light on the black belly of this thing, Trucy. We've done everything we could. I hope it's enough. 7 years ago, the day before the trial, I visited the detention center at the request of my client, Zach Gramarye. Two cards. One card. Showdown time. Enough. You lose, Gavin. Thanks for the work. Now go. That's right. Shady Enigmar did say that he only lost cards twice in his life. Once to Magnifie, the man he quote-unquote killed, and once to Phoenix. And he said he judged his lawyer's worth by playing cards with them. So he must have played cards with Clavier. Not Clavier, Christoph, my bad. Sorry, they're twins, I get them mixed up. To be honest, I don't know what his reasons were to this day. As far as I could tell, he dismissed me as his representation because I lost a game of poker. I can come to no other conclusion. Daddy used to say something. If you want to know a man, you have to compete. Zach wasn't watching his points or the cards. He was watching the man behind the cards, Christoph Gavin. I couldn't believe it. Phoenix Wright? A second-rate attorney who relies on luck and bluffs? He dismissed me and went with that pitiful excuse for a man? Oh, wow. Is this his motive for making Phoenix take the fall? This pettiness? Really? He deserved to die for that error alone. Hold it. So, the one who requested that forgery was... Oh, I'm not admitting to anything. My point is, these two men shamed me, and I could not forgive that. Phoenix Wright and Zach Gramarye both deserved what they got. So you asked Mr. Misham to forge that evidence, so you could win. But then, when you were dismissed as Zach Gramarye's attorney, you used your forged evidence as a trap. You fed me information about the forgery you made. Then you gave your dirty evidence to him. You're free to imagine what you will. My point is that all I had imagined came to pass. Everything went perfectly. Incredible! If I wasn't laughing, I'd weep. Prosecutor Gavin? Perfectly. You're mad, Christoph. Stop fooling yourself. What are you talking about, Clavier? Tell me, how did that trial end? Cancelled. When the defendant vanished. Ah, I get it. So, Christoph, you've been living in fear for 7 years. What? You were afraid your forgery would be revealed and your reputation trashed. You couldn't leave things to chance. So you watched everyone involved with the case for 7 years. You know, he always felt like he was being watched. That's what he said, every day for 7 years. But I felt it too. Journalist sure is being watched, end quote. Don't you wonder why Zach Gramery got rubbed out after 7 years? Right after coming into contact with me? Wait just a minute. Zach Gramery was seen by this reporter at the Borscht Bowl Club. Oh, jeez. How is that possible? Was he alive after being gone 7 years? Finally, I knew this moment was coming. I just didn't think we'd get here so fast. Zach Gramery, gone missing for 7 years. Trucy's father. What's wrong, Apollo? Go get him. Right. Leave it to me. Allow me to refresh the court's memory. 6 months ago, Christoph Gavin was charged with murdering a mysterious traveler. I remember him quite well. Shady Smith, was it? Poisoned in a Chinese restaurant. Tragic. The details don't really matter right now. What matters is, that traveler was Zach Gramery. What is it, Apollo? Uh-huh. Keep going. We'll talk about it later. Did she already know? Someone please explain this. Mr. Justice, can you explain this? It all started 7 years ago. The great magician, Magnifi Gramery's death, started it. Magnifi Gramery's death, and his student, Zach Gramery, the suspect. Whoever defended Zach in court successfully would be famous beyond belief. Thinking that, Christoph Gavin did the unthinkable. He forged evidence. Drew Misham? Actually, it was his daughter, Vera, who really did the work. You took precautions when you had that forgery made, didn't you, Mr. Gavin? Precautions? To keep people from talking, of course. These two know too much. Leave them alive and there'll be nothing but trouble. That's when you planned your poisoning of the forgers. Atroquinine. Applied to a commemorative stamp. But luck was on Mr. Misham's side. The bomb didn't go off. His daughter. She saved him by taking the stamp, I see. But that wasn't the only bomb he set up. The Ariadone nail polish, of course. You noticed something when you requested that forgery. When Vera Misham is nervous, she has a bad habit. A tendency to bite her nails. God. Kristoff really was gonna kill this kid, really. Oh. That nail polish was her good luck charm. She was almost kidnapped once. Since then, she's been, well, you can see for yourself. She refuses to leave the house. That person gave me a good luck charm for when I absolutely had to go outside. It protects me. Yes, apparently she received something, a gift. She won't tell me what it was. It was from that client, the one who wanted that note made. It was his insurance. Insurance? As long as she lived quietly at home, there was no danger to her. But what if she had to go outside? If she ran into any trouble, she'd become nervous. And the nail polish would do the rest. His time bomb sat there for 7 years. And then they went off almost simultaneously. If you're finished, may I return to my cell now? I'm not accustomed to standing for such long periods of time. Mr. Gavin, have you heard a single thing we've said? Oh, I listened quite closely to your little tale. Quite an entertaining piece of fiction. What? Clavier, surely you understand. We're back to the evidence. The lacking evidence. Nothing proves a link between him and the troconine that took Drew Misham's life. Objection! What about the restaurant? You killed Zach Gramarye to keep him from talking. I killed no man of that name. Read over the report again if you'd like. The victim was a traveler by the name of Shady Smith, about whom we know little else. You can't seriously think I knew he was that particular fugitive. Okay, then why did you kill him? I plead my right to remain silent. Remember, this court did not convene to put me on trial. The defendant's name is Vera Misham, suspected in the murder of her father. My trial's been finished for 6 months now. I'm afraid we have strayed considerably from our purpose here. This court concurs with the witness. It is defendant Vera Misham who is on trial here. No, but you were doing so good, Apollo. As long as there is no evidence to support the accusation against him, this course of inquiry cannot find Vera Misham innocent. Your Honor, Phoenix Wright spent 7 years collecting this evidence. You still don't get it, do you? Let us assume there was poison in the nail polish. Who, then, was responsible for causing Vera Misham to bite her nails? What? It wasn't me, I know that much. The one who brought that poison to her lips was you. What? What? Evidence is everything. There is nothing more. Oh, jeez. How the turntables. I believe this discussion has reached its conclusion. Your Honor. Mr. Justice, you have performed admirably well for a novice attorney. I respect your partner, Phoenix Wright's determination as well. However, without direct proof, you have nothing. Isn't that right, Clavier? Unfortunately, yes, Christophe, you're right. That is, you would have been right until now. What? Did the news not reach your desk in solitary? The eyes of the nation are on this courtroom today. This is the trial case for a new judicial system. It's not just the judge we have to convince, but the jury too. Oh my God. That's right. I totally forgotten. I admit, I did too. The jurist system. Jurists, you say? The current judicial system has been deemed too closed off from society. This new system attempts to inject the wisdom of common citizens into the law. Common citizens? Wisdom? Is this some kind of a joke? What could we possibly gain by doing this? Entrusting our judicial system to a mindless, emotional mob of irrational mouth breathers? It's really not a good idea to insult them like this, man. Common citizens have something called common sense. Common sense is not restricted by the law. Nonsense. There's only room for two in this court, me and the law. Keep the riffraff out. Out, I say. They're not in the court, actually. They're watching everything by video camera. How can you allow this? Incidentally, the one responsible for making this happen was Phoenix Wright. Phoenix Wright? So, everything was leading to this. Of course. Right. 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 Oh, man. Oh, jeez. That was one disheveled asshole right there. I won't accept. I can't accept. This is no court. Law. The law is everything. Law is absolute. You'd let ignorant swine soil your courts? Christophe, it's over. Clavier? The law is absolute. You can't be serious. What? Odd. I thought you spent your life looking for loopholes. The law isn't absolute. It's filled with contradictions. The law is the end product of many years of history, the fruit of human knowledge. Like a gem polished to a gleam through trials and errors. It is this fruit we receive and pass on and face in our time. And it is always changing, growing. Nurturing it is our task as human beings. Except for you, Christophe. You aren't changing. You've stopped. You're not needed anymore. I couldn't think of anything to say. Maybe because I still haven't seen enough. But someday, I'll know what law is. And I'll fight to change it if I have to. I see no need to further prolong this trial. This began as the trial of Vera Misham, accused of murdering her father, the painter Drew Misham. However, several other incidents were reviewed, and we seem to have reached a conclusion. Before this court declares a verdict, I await your decision. Jurists of the court. For the death of Drew Misham, how do you find the defendant, Vera Misham? Innocent or guilty? I turn to you now to consider this matter. Hello? Jurist Chambers. This ends the trial for this case. Only the verdict remains to be decided. Defendant Vera Misham is currently in intensive care. If a decision cannot be reached today, it may never be reached. The factors involved are simple. Did the defendant poison her father that night? If so, she is guilty. Or was there another reason for Mr. Misham's death? Did another person poison him? If so, she is innocent. I mean, no duh. Misham, Drew, poisoned himself. A panel has been provided for each of you to input your decisions. That is all. Number 6. Please, wait. Yes, jurist number 6. There's something in the jurist handbook here. Persons involved with the case may not be jurists. That is correct. I've looked into all your dossiers. None of you were involved with the development of the case. With the development of the case, I see. Does that answer your concern? It's time for your verdicts. Make your decision in the case against Vera Misham. After 7 years, the truth is ready to be heard. Judge wisely, judge well. It's Lemire? Really? Oh, that's so weird, but... So is this like choose your ending? Well, I truly believe that Vera is not guilty. It was a tragic accident. One that could have been avoided by telling her father that it was poisoned or, well, actually no, she didn't know. She had no way of knowing, did she? She's not guilty. She did not poison her father. It was pure happenstance, so I'm going with not guilty. What? Oh my god! What? No way, dude! She was amnesiac. Lemire was amnesiac. She had no idea about her past. Oh my god. It's all connected! New favorite moment in the Ace Attorney franchise. Oh man. Oh, that's so good! Oh my god. When I picture Thalassa and Lemire in my head, of course they look so similar, but I didn't. Oh my god. This is a really good story. And so a verdict was reached on October 9th, 2:14 p.m. The first verdict under the juris system. Innocent by unanimous decision. The record will show that when the verdict was announced, special witness Christoph Gavin laughed. A laugh louder than any ever heard before or since. A laugh that echoed in the halls of justice, lingering for what seemed like hours. Chef's kiss. Mwah. Chef's kiss. That's a spicy meatball. The following day, 8:30 a.m., the morning after the trial. In an intensive care ward, a true miracle occurred. Vera Misham opened her eyes. Vera, I'm so glad. Don't cry, Apollo. I'm happy too, and proud. You did well, Apollo. When I thought about what if Vera... Hey now, don't you start crying too. Sorry you had to see us like this. Vera? Thank you so much, Apollo. Thank you. No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have pressed you like that. If I hadn't, you never would have bitten your nails. No, I was wrong. Staying locked inside like that, clinging to my good luck charm. Vera, when I opened my eyes and saw you, I finally understood. It's important to be a part of the world. To see things with your own eyes. It looks like that poison had some effect after all. It killed off whatever was holding Vera back from life. I knew you'd pull through, Vera. I mean, that's what Apollo was fighting for the whole time. Your future. I won't forget it. Here, let me thank you. No, really, it's okay. Ooh, look, it's me. I love it, thanks. Is that me? She really captured your essence, Apollo. Well, I think so at least. That reminds me. Do you know where the other lawyer is? The other lawyer? Oh, you mean Daddy. Except he's not a lawyer anymore. Well, if his innocence in the forging was just proven, couldn't he, get reinstated? It's my fault, isn't it? I'm sorry. Oh, no, that's not what I meant. No,
It's okay. I'm through looking away from the things I've done. I hope I can look him in the eyes again someday and apologize.
I'm sure he'd be happy to hear that.
He brought all those things for me when he came to visit earlier.
You mean that stack of videos? Mr. Wright finished watching them all?
You know, I knew my real daddy was alive.
Uh-huh?
I was there 7 years ago, remember? I was the one who helped him vanish from the courtroom.
You did what? How?
I'm not telling. He promised me that day when he went away.
We may not meet again for some time, Trucy. But know this, I will be watching, and one day I shall return. You're the next Grammar after all.
Oh, Trucy. In the end, he couldn't keep that promise, could he? It's okay. Phoenix is my daddy now, even if he can't really play the piano.
That he can't.
Oh, and I've got you too, even if your voice is kind of loud sometimes.
Glad I made your list.
Hey, come to think of it, where is Daddy? The one who can't play. Do you know Apollo?
I think he had to meet someone.
Huh, I wonder. Maybe it's a new mommy.
Or maybe it's your old mommy.
Teehee. Oh, Trucy? Yes, Vera? I was wondering, could you show him to me once more? Sir Hat, was it? Oh, he's not been knighted yet. Here goes. Do us an impersonation, Mr. Hat.
Objection. Ahem. Not loud enough. And I like Miss Magic Underwear better anyway.
That's magic panties, Apollo!
So, your memories returned.
Mr. Wright, was this all part of your plan, too?
I don't know what you're talking about.
When I lost my memory, I was reborn as the mirror. But you knew my true identity, did you not? That is why you chose me as one of your jurists.
Ah, you're thinking into it too much. Besides, there was no guarantee that regaining your memory would make you happy.
Of course it is a happy thing. For so long, I thought I was alone. But now I know I have children. 2 dear children. I'm so proud of them. This, too, I think, is thanks to you.
Are you going to tell them?
They do not know?
Nope. They don't know their mother. They don't even know their siblings.
I will go to them when the time is right. Until then,
Don't worry, I'll take care of them for you. They're very important to me too. A little annoying at times, but still. I have to keep an eye on her at least. Because I'm the only one who knows how she really feels on the inside. Your bracelet.
yes?
I've seen a lot of mysterious things these past 7 years. But your bracelets were the strangest of all. I remember meeting him half a year ago now in Christoph Gavin's office. And then I met you. 2 fates destined to intertwine, and I was there when they crossed. I'll never forget that.
Such a small thing, that bullet, yet it tore who I was away. "10 years ago, during a simple rehearsal. It was a miracle no one died, but I didn't survive that accident. That is why I left the troupe, my family. Now my memory has returned. I am myself once more. For the first time, I am glad to be alive, Mr. Wright."
Speaking of miracles, Vera Misham regained consciousness this morning. I can only hope she's as glad as you are. It is a strange thing, Fate. Sometimes...
It is a strange thing, Fate. Sometimes a life is taken. Sometimes a life is spared.
You know what I've been thinking? People don't die that easily, really. As long as they've got something worth living for. And that's pretty much the end of my story. For now, anyway. Still got a long way to go, and the power of mine, well, needs some work. But there's hope now. We'd lost it, but somehow we found it again. That's why people are smiling again. Hope. Yeah, I think I'll keep at this lawyer thing for a while. Oops, training time. Gotta go. Cords of steel, here comes justice.
I'm glad you're staying with this agency, Apollo. It's like I found my long-lost big little brother. Oh, and don't you worry about Troop Grammary. Trucy's on the case. Now that I have this, thanks to Daddy.
Trucy Grammary? Frankly, I got my doubts. But Hat Grammary, now that'll pack 'em in. Ooh, production values. What a great game. It's not every day you get a trial that rocks harder than one of our gigs, yeah? That's why it's over. The Gaviners are breaking up. The news caused a run on tissues at supermarkets nationwide. You're the real stars now. I look forward to our next jam session. Dang, the Gaviners broke up, huh? So he's full-time prosecutor? Huh. I guess I'll save talking about my full thoughts for once this is done. Well, it's finally over. You know, thinking about it. I've been a piano player longer than I was a lawyer. Now that everything's sorted and I've got time on my hands, maybe I'll take some lessons. Or maybe I'll take the bar exam again. Promise? Promise? Come back to me! Phoenix! Rise from the ashes again! Man, I have no idea what Ace Attorney 5 and 6 are like. I don't even know who the protagonist is. It might be Phoenix again.
So, I was standing around eating snackoos the other day when I got this crazy idea. What if they were golden? You could augment the crunch, or better yet, make them ding. The power of science. Although the preservatives might not be 100% safe.
Ah, man. Boy, this ending snuck up on me, too. I did not expect to sit down for the finale today.
In unlikely event you are wanting Russian feast, come to Borscht Bowl Club. The only thing colder than restaurant is borscht. Duh, but if great challenge is being required,
then come to the hideout. You know who to ask for. Yeah, when I sat down today to record, I did not expect I would be doing the finale. Holy crap. Came out of nowhere. So, Kentucky Pastries is getting back to its Eastern roots. Spread the culture and all. Yo, boss, culture time. This is how we write root, capice? But we're still about giving back to the people. Yo, boss, PR time. And this is how we write people, alright? Not that Rocky's paying any attention. Oh, kids. Bizoy! Chinese characters on cake was a fly idea like 3,000 years ago. Man, you want to make it today? You gotta keep it real, you know what I'm saying? Yo, that's why I made the OG cracker, for real. I know it don't like cracker G. What, you want me to call the OG muffin? Yeah, no. That kid tries way too hard. I don't know where all this talk about food is coming from. You ask me, there's only one food, and that's noodles. Noodles forever. I got a new one too. See, this time I just put a big chunk of salt in the bowl. I pretend Eldon's noodles with the salt forever. Oh man. Oh, this is like a final boss endurance run where I have to remember everyone's voices. My exceptionally inquisitive nature has won me an unequivocal adoration. You see, they used to call me Wesley Stinkler and Wesley Sticky Hands. But no longer. I have a new name, one that reflects my true academic nature. Wesley Sicko, reporting. Yes, curiosity is a sickness, and I am the cure. I would pity that guy, but nah. And bravo to the translators and localizers. They really make this work. I don't know how to thank you all for all you've done. Light has returned to my life, and with it joy. I may have lost years, but I have gained a treasure. 2 treasures, in fact. I will think of them when I write my next song. You know, it's really sad to think about how that whole time during that third case that Valent was working with Thalassa. Brusha, brusha, brushel, brusha, brusha, brushel. Brushel here, back on the beat with another interview. How do I feel about how things turned out? No scoop yet, but journalists' confidence in mid-condition. End quote! Like, yeah, Valent was working with Thalassa the entire time. He even disguised himself as her. I've decided to keep painting. Originals only. I suppose I'll have to see a bit of the world outside to find what to paint. But I know there are good people out there now. I've met them. The door is open. The world is waiting. Thank you. Give it up for Shu Takumi. Aw, yeah. Like a little happy family. Is that it? I think that's it. Wow. Wow. Oh my god. We did it. And so concludes Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. Oh man. So I said once before that if Apollo Justice sticks the landing, this would be my favorite Ace Attorney game. It stuck the friggin' landing. All of those characters were incredible. Everything revolving around the Magnifi Troop, or Gramarye Troop. Everything. And that 12th hour reveal that Lemire was the Lhasa the entire time. Oh my god. Do I have anything bad to say about this game? No? I really don't. Like, I love the Borscht Bowl Club case. I loved how it evolved later and became even more relevant, and you realize the tragicness of Shady. And I love the noodle card case where you're investigating 3 crimes at once and seeing how they all tied together. And I just love the ridiculousness of Guy Eldoon and the noodle case and the history with the other doctor, Palmeractus, and Walkie was fun. And like, the only bad thing I can say about that case is that it was pretty obvious who the real killer was, like right from the get-go. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. I just wish it was kind of more tricky to figure out. And then the Lemire case, which, my god, now in hindsight, that just became even more crazy. Like, oh my god, the Lhasa was right there the entire time. And this 4th and final case, the lawn one, the doozy. Wow. Just wow. I am in awe of the writing prowess on display. It takes so much skill and talent to forge a story that this beautifully interconnected, and it feels so organic and earned. Like, a big part of how good a story like this is how it's told and when things are revealed to the reader. Flying colors, man. Just Apollo Justice Ace Attorney is my new favorite Ace Attorney game out of the 4 I have played. So, what's next? There's way more Ace Attorney. Let's see. This might not necessarily be the order I play them in, but there's Ace Attorney 5 and 6. There's the 2 Miles Edgeworth Investigations games. And there's also the 2 Great Ace Attorney games, which I know nothing about for those. And if I'm really thirsty, I could check out the Professor Layton and Phoenix Wright crossover game. But if I do that, I might want to just play some earlier Professor Layton games first to really see what that's all about first. But that's a huge what if. So concludes this Let's Play. You might be asking, what is continuing next? What are we doing next? Now, it's not quite going to be Fate Stay Night again. I'm not done with that playthrough. There are 3 big, huge story routes in that playthrough. And I finished the first of those routes, and I took a break to play this, Apollo Justice, but I need more of a break. I want something to be even in the spotlight with Fate. So, next time, we'll be playing Miles Edgeworth Investigations, the first one. So, I really look forward to that. So, I hope you are too. And man, thanks for taking this journey with me. Oh, this is just such a treat to play through. Oh man, I'm going to be thinking about this game for a long-ass time. Anyway, I'm Zephyr the Jester. This has been Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you next time. So until then, please take care.